Um, I thought I'd do a sort of film on finding focus, I guess, for want of a better word. Um, I've tried about twice this morning to make this film, and for whatever reason, uh, my camera phone keeps just stopping. Um, but I won't take that as an omen. What do I mean by finding focus? I think for me there are three things in life that I think govern everyday life, and those things are the things that we need to do, the things that we have to do, and the things that we want to do. And I think if you have conversations with people, nobody has a problem talking about what they want to do. They'll give you a long list of that they want to be rich and famous and a rock star and whatever it is, and they'll go on for hours about what they want to do. The key thing is that if we don't focus on the need to do's and the have to do's, we're just not going to do those things that we want to do. But the trick is to take care of those things first, and I think that every day we are dealing with those things to a greater or lesser extent, and trying to balance those things, I think, is the struggle. That is the struggle for every day, every week, every year, and throughout our lives. And the reason I sort of mention this is that when I had my injury and was completely bedridden, I had so much time to think and go inside my head and work out, about all the time that I wasted, and in my life, and things that I've done in the past, and it really brings into focus the importance of time and how you use it and what you do, and how you use that constructively. And for me, I had to work really hard to get my physical mobility back, and that meant that quite often I was dealing with pain, and I would wake in pain, and often early in the morning. And I had a couple of choices. I could either try and go back to sleep, take more painkillers, or I could get up and try and work through the pain and do physical exercises and push myself to actually be able to do something, achieve something, if you like. And I think that has given me a focus, if you like, and a motivation to extend that into everyday life, now that I have got mobility, or better mobility than I had before. So often I use that as like a kind of mantra. I sort of think to myself, well, what have I got to do? What do I need to do? What do I want to do, on a day? And this morning, it's not that late in the morning. But if I was to say and tell people what I've done already this morning, a lot of people would say, well, that's more than I do in a day, or that's more than I do in a whole weekend. And for me, it's about looking at every day as an opportunity, and every day is a new beginning. So I think if you start to think in those terms, and you start to think in that way, then it changes how you see things, and how you achieve things for yourself. So we all need to go to work. We all have to pay bills, and all the sort of everyday commitments. But quite often, if we focus on those things instead of having the block or the resistance, and just kind of really focus on them and deal with those things, we often end up finding that we actually do have more time to do the things that we want to do. And I think quite often the difference between, if you like, those that succeed and those that don't succeed is that they've kind of learnt that lesson. I wish in many ways I'd learnt that lesson, years ago, years before I had an injury. If you like, that was the thing that made me focus and look at the world in a completely different way. And that's a long process, if you like. It's a long process that you go through internally, and hopefully it comes out in the things that you do, and how people see you. And this week for me, in my day job, I've been so far behind in work that I needed to do, sort of admin, computer work, statistics, facts, figures, all this kind of stuff. And I physically struggle with typing because of the injury that I've had, but I've caught up. I've done so much this week because I went into work extra early. I put the time in. I was like the first person in, and I've done that, and that has made such a difference to how I feel now about the weekend and the things that I want to do and the things that I'm going to be working on for the next couple of days. And it means that when I go back to work on Monday, I'm going to be ahead and not behind, and I won't be sort of stressing and worrying about that. So I just think that finding focus is a challenge. It is difficult. It is very difficult. But if we literally break it down into those three things in any situation on any given day, make a list. I'm always making a to-do list. I write things down, and it changes from one day to the next. And sometimes you don't achieve everything, and it goes on to the next list or the next day, and that's okay. We're only human. There's only so many hours that we can do stuff. But I just thought that I would take a moment out and talk about that, because I think if we can crack that in any aspect of our lives, then we can extend that into everything that we do. So I just thought I'd take a few moments out and just share those thoughts.